Hey guys, yeah, welcome back in. 2 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, turning into a bit of a chop fest here for the overall market. Bit of a chop fest for individual stocks, depending on what you're looking at as well. We are still in positive territory for the S&P, the NASDAQ not quite, 0.2 downside overall. A few things of note as we head towards what is going to be a pretty important week here. More inflation data to come ahead of the next Fed meeting coming up in a week or so. We'll get CPI, we'll get PPI both this week. So the market in a bit of a standby, wait and see kind of approach ahead of that, ahead of earnings season right around the corner as well. Friday, we'll kick things off with big banks. Danielle Shea going to come by this afternoon in about an hour or so. We'll talk to her about earnings season, how she is going to approach it, what she's looking forward to when it comes to individual names on the earnings front. But that's how the overall market's setting up right now. Still, the weakness coming from tech, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Google, to name a few, Amazon, all of them here. Tesla as well, still downside. But enough green to basically leave us unchanged heading into the final couple of hours here as we head towards a Monday close. 2 hours to go. In fact, hope your afternoon is going well. If you're with us in the pre-market this morning, we were talking about EVs in general, but specifically Rivian to kick things off. 8 days in a row to the upside, doing its best effort right now, or putting in its best effort right now to make it 9 days in a row, even with, as I mentioned, the market kind of chopping around here, not doing a heck of a lot. If you missed it last week, they came out and said deliveries, way better than expected. Manufacturing numbers as well, also way better than expected. So it looks like they finally ironed out some of the supply chain issues that they were having, some of the sourcing issues for materials and parts that they were having as well. I mean, I was down in the U.S. last week driving around. We went on a road trip, and I saw three. I actually kept count, 3 of them in the state of Massachusetts. So if you're looking for a Rivian, maybe that's a good place to start. But here we go. 1.75% for Rivian, trying to add to what was a huge day back on Friday. What was a huge week, nevertheless, last week. But nice day back on Friday. Trying to hold these levels from late in the day right now. Guys, if you were not with us this morning, Max is in for Neil all week long.
Yes, Mike is live. All right, Max props it up. We're glad to have Max with us here today. And you can see I have 3 positions on, all short. Max, Nepal right now. Calm down. We don't need any new positions on anytime soon. But yeah, it's been a big day. Thank you to both Obi and Brad for bringing the heat. I actually messaged Obi privately. I think he had his best show by far. So thank you, Obi, for that. Check your DMs because, hey, you know, here that's what we're all about. Having bigger, better, improving. That was a full 3 hours for this guy over here. So big shout out to Obi. A lot of respect for that. And Max, of course, you are now the seasoned veteran.
Oh, yeah.
Here. So shout out to Max and shout out to everybody that is with us. Before we go on, so Fahad, Greg, I actually have to shout out to Greg as well. Trader TV Live actually supported Mount Sinai, and there was a big tournament that happened this year. It's just a basketball tourney. It was well supported by us here at Trader TV Live. So here's the official plaque that we just got. Raptors Research Foundation. So there was basketball game. You know, we're throwing around chairs and everything. Greg was playing as well as Fahad, representing Trader TV Live. So there it is right there, Raptors Foundation. And then we got a big, I'm going to have to pass this over. Here, Greg, I don't know if Greg wants to come on the show. This is for you, buddy, if you want this right now. So here it is right here. It's a Trader TV Live sort of gym shirt. So thank you, Greg. You already got one? Okay, well, there it is again. Maybe we'll put it up for Trader TV Live, but thank you, Greg, for participating in that. You can put that up at the floor somewhere or whatever, but thank you, Greg, for that. But cheers for that. So I just wanted to bring that up. Mount Sinai, of course, a huge hospital here in Toronto, and I think it's pretty much world-renowned, so it's a big one there. Mount Sinai?
Yeah,
for sure.
so.
It's almost like a sick kids thing. So there it is right there, Trader TV Live giving back. And I just wanted to bring that to our attention because it did come in the mail. Shout out to everybody that donated and helped out with that. We didn't ask for donations this time around, but we just chipped it in and put a team out. But all right, let's talk about Rivian real quick now. I just wanted to do that quick little shout out. Wow, Rivian, like unbelievable that it's down here to 25. We had some decent trades on this today. We talked about it here on the sticky note that we wanted 24.50 long or 26 the other way. And this is what we did early. So early it was a pretty good trade, man. We let it fall down. We watched out for that 24.50 area. We didn't get caught up early in it, which is good. I don't want to get caught early in a trade, right? I'd rather wait for it to come down. We talked about that. We were up slightly, we talked about this, but not by much. We were able to get a little bit out there off of 24.20, best trade 50, out on the break of 24. So cup of tea there. This was fun because when it came up to 26, it just motored up. These were the pre-market highs, and there's the 26 level that we liked. We missed the initial break on 26, that sucked, but we let it drop down. We actually shorted 26 back in, was able to get like 20 cents on a piece. Then we averaged it and blasted it up. Then we had another short there. Then it took us out right at the high of the day, and then look, it's been bleeding ever since. And I'm glad we're talking about this right now. Rivian looking to take this down. I think Rivian is a good chance to go short here through 25. It's that bottom of 24.90. I don't want to get like too carried away with this trade. It's going to be a good one. I'm pretty certain about it, but it has to break lower. Oh yeah, baby. Here we go. Where's that sign? There it is right now. A new position. Do we have chips on the board? And I'm not talking about Ruffles. I'm not talking about Doritos. Is chips along? Nah, I'm going to go the other way on that one. Look at this trade. Shout out to Brian Shannon and everybody here that trades off VWAP. Boom shakalaka. You ever played that game? That's NBA Jam.
NBA Jam?
He's
no.
heating up.
I played like 2K, I think, back in the day, but not NBA Jams before.
Anyways, when you're jamming it, they're like, boom, shakalaka. And they do. That's the thing, man, me and Neil are so old, I keep forgetting how young you are. Yeah, you're just playing the new games. But right there, we are now $2 in the money on Nvidia as it continues to go down. But anything for you on Rivian this morning? I can't remember. I know you were on
Rivian,
Tesla.
I tried that 26 break, and while I was typing the order in, it broke on me, and I had to cross up like 10 cents to get the fill. And then just ended up getting stopped out for, I don't know, I guess that was like a 20-cent loss, probably more than it should have been. Really didn't want to go off that 26, so I am wondering if that's a decent short for the afternoon. And speaking of new positions, I just got long Carvana breaking that 33. I tried once above 20 or 32.50, sorry. Looking for the continuation on this one, see if we can get that kind of afternoon rally into the highs. See if we get that 34 break again. I'd probably add there and try to get to 35. But Rivian, maybe a short, but I just don't see it.
In the honor of Neil, you have to start saying "quite frankly" as many times as you possibly can. So, quite frankly?
Quite frankly, Rivian's probably a short.
No, shout out to JB. Shout out, I think it was JB there in the chat. He always has a "quite frankly" count on it. So that's why. So maybe we'll try to avoid it because it is Neil's thing. So we'll wait on that. But yeah, Brandon, we like Rivian. Here comes Apple. We're short at 30s. I'm gonna put another bid right here on Apple. Might as well get something out at O's again if we can. We'll take an 01 fill, but right now the market's pulling back a little bit. We're just off VWAP. Nothing to really look at here. Nothing to see here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wait to see if the market can move a little bit more, but we'll take another piece out on Apple. We're just sort of right now, Johnny Fat stacks. We're just sort of trying to stack them up a little bit here as we've got some great trades on, man. And that Nvidia is $2 in the money. Google's still $1. Oh, and we have Microsoft on this board? No, we do not. But that happened to me on Microsoft. We'll talk about some bad outs and getting stopped out because, hey, that is the name of the game. Where's my time in sales? No wonder I'm getting stopped out here on Microsoft. Oh, there it is. Okay. 3:30. So, all right, Brendo, back to you. It's chips along. Give us your favorite chip there, Brendan. I'll start. I like Doritos Cool Ranch, and we're going to go over to Brendan and see what he says.
All dress.
Ooh.
Oh, wait.
I still don't think they heard you. Is your mic on?
Fine. I don't know. Do you guys in the States have all dress chips? I don't know if they do or not. We'll see. Let us know if you have all dress. Here's Nvidia down 1.3%. We were wondering, here is, first of all, a very positive note this morning, pointing to more to come on the AI front from Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs finally getting on the AI bandwagon when it comes to not only Nvidia, but there was a bunch of names mentioned in here, including Meta and C3 AI, which we haven't really heard from in a while anyways. But Nvidia, the leader, it's been the leader for this entire move up for the AI group, if you want to call it that. Went green very early in the pre-market versus Friday, but it doesn't turn out to be a very positive day here, guys. We saw on that sector watch board, pretty ugly for not only tech, but chips specifically.
I knew they didn't have all dressed chips there, but apparently in some states they do, just like some states have Tim Hortons and so on and so forth. So all dressed in ketchup is our favorite, is not our favorite, but that's unique to it. All dressed is like literally what you think it is. I think it's just like sprinkle on some salt and vinegar, sprinkle on some sour cream, throw on some ketchup on there, put on tons of bad things for you.
Or something.
Barbecue. Yeah, I think it has a little bit of barbecue. There's a little bit of a tang to an all dressed chip. So I think you guys should try that out if you can, as well as it's a big Canadian thing. Poutine flavored chips. That would be Canadian.
Poutine flavored, interesting. Little cheese and gravy, I like that. That might be a good chip, actually.
I'm pretty sure it exists. I'm just throwing it out there because it was
exists.
another Canadian thing right there. All right, Chips Along. Well, Chips Ahoy, I'm sure they've heard of that. You will have to wait to see because AMD today, I mean, the answer, is it a long? I wrote down here that we did like AMD long if it broke through 115, but we got nowhere near there. So we tried the long down here at basically 111. We got out once it broke that for 20 cents. We talked about that. That was a cup of tea for us. But then it came back up to VWAP, hit it down, perfect. Tried to short again. I'm assuming that's maybe where VWAP was at that time. I don't know. That was probably against the high of the day. We got a piece out, then bad. And then this is where it really started to come through. We got a little diamond handsy on this one as we held it. Not all the way down to the bottom, but that's a pretty good trade there from 112.50 all the way down to 111.70. And then just recently back and forth again on AMD. So I don't know. When the market's kind of doing this, Pratt actually said a pretty funny joke today. And I don't know if it wasn't during this time. I'm not sure if it was about a stock or the market, but this is like barcoding here. And if you just take away sort of all this down here, and then this move here, then you pretty much have a very, very flat day here in the NASDAQ. So you got to make sure that you pick your poison on some of these names. I still think AMD is, I like it as a short off of these levels here, 118, 119. But again, I was thinking if the market can get going, we wouldn't be surprised if we could retest back up there. But so for AMD today, it's a positive stock. And then my banger right here is just kind of happening as we speak. We already took some profit there for $2 about, 421.50 down to 420 flat, so about $1.50. It just went $2 in the money. We didn't take it. That was stupid. So now we have another bid down here to take that profit. But again, the same type of thing exists here for Nvidia, where you're just coming up to these highs, and until and again, they talked about this on the midday show. We're going to talk about it with Danielle Shea. Until there are reasons for these stocks to move, I don't think they're going to move. Fed has been rolling out. We have CPI coming, PPI. Fed's been rolling out some speakers, and either way, you get some dip downs, right back up. You either have to wait for that 440 to break, or we unfortunately will try to break 400 on earnings probably. But until then, you're kind of stuck in the middle. I think it makes for great day trading opportunities, which is why, quite frankly, we waited for that 421.50 area right there until we had a VWAP trade. I missed it there and felt bad about it, but we got it again and it's traded well. So good job on that one to the downside for me anyways on Nvidia. I still like the chips, but still stuck in the middle. Wait for an outside move one way or the other.
Yeah, I was looking for the short on AMD this morning, never got up to that 114 level, just kind of gave it all up off the open, but then it, as you say, buys it all back. So everything is just kind of chilling in range, doesn't want to make those moves. Nvidia did get to my levels. I was busy with something else, but the market wasn't looking so hot. I did like the idea of longing below 425 into 424, and then maybe it makes that move up. But yeah, market move was not looking great at that point, so I didn't take that, and then Nvidia ends up giving it all back and more all the way down to 416. Now kind of heating up and maybe, I don't know, wanting to take out VWAP again, or is this just another one of those fake pumps on NASDAQ and then we just reverse it right back into kind of the middle of the range? Feels like the market doesn't want to do much, and the chips don't have independent momentum at the moment. And speaking of favorite chips,
yes,
mine is salt and vinegar.
Okay, good. That was the next question was going to be yours. Sorry about that. Salt and vinegar. You know what I like the salt and vinegar chips? Do you have a specific brand?
Miss Vicky's.
Oh, boom!
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Good job on that one, Max. I like the salt and vinegar Miss Vicky's chips. Do they have Miss Vicky's in the United States? I don't know. All right, Brandon, look what we started here now. We got the all dress, we got the Miss Vicky's, and ready next we have Meta. I'm pretty sure they got Threads in the United States. 100 million subscribers already, Brendo.
Impressive, 5 days, fastest to get to that point. Just after, it's worth noting as well, ChatGPT broke that record going back to March of this year as well. Here we go right now, in fact, trying to get back to the upside through 292. Some volume coming back in. Hey, we're green again for Meta, guys.
Yeah, we talked about that. ChatGPT, I think took what, 6 months? I tweeted something out. There was a chart there of how long it took. It took like the telephone, something like 25 years to get 100 million users, and it just kept on getting better and better and better. ChatGPT did hold the record, and then it was just smashed by Threads, like 7 days or 5 days or whatever Brendo just gave us there. Absolutely unbelievable. But again, they're just riding on the back of Instagram, right? So because it's just so easy to connect the two accounts. But shout out to Mark Zuckerberg because, yeah, man, the rich just keep on getting richer, it seems like. And Meta is going to, I guess part of the talk on Friday, there was a lot of traders, or not traders, but I guess the story was that they were possibly going to be sued, or I guess maybe they still are being sued. I don't know the legitimacy of that, but by Twitter. They hired some fired or let go Twitter engineers. So, okay, that's one thing right there. And then also Meta came back and said that, whoa, hold your horses here. A, we were working on this before we hired them, and B, we were specific not to allow any of these guys to work on that as well. Now, don't quote me on that. That's what I was reading, but that's, I think, where we're going with all of this. And I don't think in a court of law, Meta is too worried, because actually I was sitting there on the patio when this was released with Marissa, and we both signed up. And the thing is I even said right away, I'm sure that Meta, because I was like, oh, I'm going to go long Meta the next day, like 300. Yeah, I can't wait for this. I was jacking myself up about that. But the thing is that all of a sudden, I thought to myself, there's no way that they put themselves out to be sued. Like that just seems like they would have dotted their I's and crossed their T's. But in the world of anybody can be sued for anything at any time, which is quite ridiculous, but you know, that's what it is. All right, so here we go. Let's look at what it is today. So again, a huge move up. This is the missed trade of the day, so I'm gonna slap a fail rate on this for myself, because how many times do you have to see 298 come through, right? I mean, it was the top. Forget about all this, you know, action that happened early on Meta. There's that 300 break that we were all super excited about, and lost on that big candle early on that day, Thursday or Friday of last week. I think it was Thursday. And then all of a sudden we hit 298 today again, and that wasn't faded. That's ridiculous. Missed opportunity there. And then rate this 294. Max and I were both looking at this, and again, 294, 294.50. I liked it for a long up there, and the problem is, it right there, the thing is, it didn't break, and we never got to take long. So instead, me and Max, I think when this started happening, we kind of looked at each other and was like, oh man, why didn't we just play that as a short instead of always trying to get a long on a stock like this? So now it's coming back in, Max. I feel like we're going to have that option again pretty soon.
I think I'll abstain from taking action on that level again, because I couldn't be more wrong on Meta today. Once again, another day, another time that Meta kind of convinces me that it's going to go for that 300 and then doesn't. And we were debating whether it's a long or a short here at this 294.50, and both somehow decided it's a long. And like, what a banger short there. It goes all the way down to 287, gives you like $7 there. You know, can't have them all, I guess. Good day otherwise, but yeah, Meta, I don't know. I mean, if it gets back into that level, I want to say that it breaks and, you know, keeps going up, but that's a big move off the bottom. You know, you do $7 down to the bottom, you're going to do another 7 up, and then keep going after that. That would be a little crazy, but I don't know. I feel like eventually we got to get that 300 break. So maybe we do that. Maybe we trend up, and then tomorrow off the open we're breaking 300. Hopefully we don't get bamboozled again on that Meta long.
Let's talk Alibaba here. Huge day on Friday on that regulatory headline that came through in regards to Ant. And then again today we're back to the upside. We were wondering in the pre-market, I threw up there on the board, will Baba bounce? Answer yes, obviously off that pre-market low. In a hurry did it bounce. We got all the way back to Friday's high, and then it's been struggling at that 91.50 area throughout the midday here. But if you missed it, again, they came through with this fine. Chinese regulators come through with this fine, 900, the equivalent of 984 million US. The more important part of the story is essentially maybe this is now behind all of the tech stocks, not necessarily just Alibaba and Ant, but all of the Chinese tech stocks, because regulators were looking into not just Alibaba, but the rest of them as well. And hopefully we can move on with life. So yeah, daily chart looks good, guys. Monster volume came in on Friday. Nice follow through here today.
Yeah, we were really excited for Alibaba. We actually had it written down on the sticky note, but never really followed through with it. And it was a little bit of a difficult trade today. Just before we go over that, I will go over it. I actually haven't really looked at the charts because, quite frankly, there it is again. Why does that only happen in the afternoon show? Now that I've mentioned it, I don't think we said it once in the midday on the first show there, but numerous times now. So the wrath of Neil lives on. We're now short right here into Nvidia. So it just came right up to 422 again. This is the spot that we like. So we're going to short this up here one more time into Nvidia. So we got the same price, basically 57s now on the short. We got a little bit there at 80 and a little bit at 50, and now that's come back in just a little bit for us again. That is Nvidia looking for the short. Okay, so Alibaba again. We looked at this at 91.50, and it's still there. I mean, wow, how good is that price? We wrote down on the sticky note today. We wrote down I can't make this up. We wrote down 91.50, and it's right there at night. Wow, that is unbelievable that level actually held out. I was kind of wondering even why. I was like, okay, 91.50. Why exactly do we like that level? And it just came back in. That's still a 3-minute. I should change it back to a 5. It was just kind of back into here. It goes back a little while that we looked at 91.50. So I just thought that if we broke through there, then we did have some upside up to 94. That never really happened. So we can wait on that. The only trade that would have worked, I guess, was that very first break for Alibaba today, right into here of that's 91.50. So break upside got to 92. After that, it's just been a good day for them. I mean, considering the NASDAQ is about to turn green, but still red on the day is the NASDAQ. So Alibaba up that 1%. This looks like a great break too at 92. So let's just wait to see. It does have the tendencies here in the afternoon to do nothing and kind of fall asleep on us. So if Alibaba does that, then that's what it does, and we'll have to work away from that. But I still like a 91.60 break. We'll see if we can do that tomorrow. But hey, maybe put it in for right now in case this NASDAQ does continue to scream higher and turn green. We're back up to that 15,180 now, and there it is right here, taking out levels. Remember we said, despite this move and this move, we've been sitting in here. Well, now you're right back up to some of these levels again. So watch out, possible reload in some of the shorts, or this is a new trend here to start the day as the NASDAQ just now turns green. So hold on to these shorts. Could be in a little bit of a problem here.
Yeah, that 91.50 level working out very well today to the short side. It goes above for 15 minutes there in the morning before 10 a.m. Why is that? All right. And then when you break back down, gives you that nice short, almost $1, comes right back to the level. You can short it 5 more times. I think, if we break that 91.60, you got to expect upside. But Baba doesn't often move in the afternoon once those Hong Kong markets are closed. One Chinese name that we kind of missed today that made a huge move is NIO, up 7% on the day.
Jeez.
Is it New York? Yeah, it's New York. Breaks that $10 off the open and doesn't look back. Come on, load the NIO chart. There you go. Yeah, it doesn't look back. Doesn't even really make you go through any pain at all. Straight up to 1020, 1050, and then topping out at 1080 and still hanging out well above VWAP. Doesn't even want to touch VWAP today. So definitely some strength in those Chinese names. Maybe NIO through $11 if it picks up this afternoon, but again, usually they don't move like that once the afternoon session begins.
Right. All right, rundown, guys, as always, brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used on this desk by everyone you see on the show. See what's moving in the moment with Trade Ideas. Check out the QR code, bottom right corner, right now. You can scan that or just simply use TraderTV20. Get you 20% off. As always, shout out to our friends over at Trade Ideas. We had this one on the watch list this morning. Cava, the restaurant recent IPO edition, whatever you want to call it, to the NYSE. I want to show you the daily chart because we're right back to the top end of the range. So back and forth we go here for Cava since its debut. count them, 7 initiations today as the quiet period for analyst coverage comes off CAVA, guys. They were all to the upside, all positive with, I mean, the price targets were kind of in this neighborhood, 42 to 45. So we're there basically, but nice look for Cava.
I just want to, and we'll go over Cava in a second. It's at 44. It's bouncing its head off there. I think that could be a decent trade. We just got out at 30 here. We got out of a quarter of our position. It's not much. Hopefully we can get some more out if it does dip down. But look at Nvidia now trying to get back up to the highs. It just dipped down there. We did have a bid right there. It was the top. We took 30 cents. But that's just because it's risk to reward, man. We don't want to lose. We want to make sure that we take something out if it's going to give it to us. We know that we're out somewhere around a break of 422. So if we're going to be short here at 70 or 63, so that's about 40 cents wrong to the upside, give or take a couple points of slippage, we have to take something out when it does fall back in, especially in such a trending NASDAQ. So it looks like we're about to get stopped out right now on Nvidia. So again, just giving everyone that update that we did take a piece out. Hold it if you want to. We did that. Unfortunately, it's not down lower, and we'd be able to take some more out. But hopefully that'll come through in just a couple of seconds. But there's CAVA. That's a New York name. I knew that as soon as I pushed it. $44. Good level there. Like Brennan said, you're now through that quiet period. So this is what we talked about, Mob Deep, Quiet Storm. You'll have to listen to that later. But for right now, it's a nice move up to $44 and just kind of bouncing its head off that. I don't know. I'm not super interested in that. But now that I've seen this kind of a move, we can now. There goes Nvidia, by the way, as the NASDAQ continues to take out highs. So boom, right there. Good risk to reward on the last piece there for Nvidia. Obviously, not happy because of where we went with it, but we'll take this in consideration the next time we see Cava come through, or not Cava, but another name with a couple IPOs recently. Once that expires, I mean, I don't know if anyone's going to be upgrading PWM or whatever that name is, but you could see a nice little move there, hitting that 44, and now we have a little bit of a wall there. This is probably a long breaking through 44.8, so 08. So we'll see if that can come into play again, but yeah, good upgrade today. Never really stopped. Could have took it right off the open, and you would have had about $3. So that was a great trade up there. We'll have to remember that for next time. But yeah, Cava definitely making him sing today.
Yeah, we talked about that 40 level in the early morning show, and it doesn't even get down to that 40 and just gives you like a $4 move off of there within, less than an hour. So pretty decent risk reward if you're just going to say I'll buy anywhere near 40 and stop out $39.99. Gives you that move. I mean, I don't know what the liquidity looked like in this scenario, but it goes up $2 in 2 minutes. So I'm guessing that might have been kind of scary trading that one, but nice long today. I guess if you're breaking $50 soon, recent IPO breaking a key $10 level like that is something that I would pay attention to if the volume's there. So yeah, I guess we'll see if this can continue the move. I don't think I would be trading it until it does start making new all-time highs and gets to 60. And Carvana has now broken out, actually. So my long's starting to work out on Carvana. I'm looking to add on the 34 break. This is where it topped out before, and then see if we can get to 35 on this one for the final add, and maybe we get a little higher this afternoon on that one. But yeah, I'm not looking to take any profit really until I get to that 34 break on Carvana right now. What about PWM?
Right. Are we done? You need to do any more of the rundown there, Brendo? We're good to go. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, thanks for all that, guys. All right, so in a fail right there, we're back in it. Unfortunately, look at Nvidia. Takes out the top wicks. The highest sell candle of the day happens on that move as we break, which is unbelievable. Like there it is right there. And look at the candle. You can see it at the bottom. It's not the highest. I shouldn't say that. That was back in the open. But recently, it's a nice little candle there. Wicked up to that high. And if we zoom in just a little bit more, you'll be able to see there it is right there. And there's the big candle following. So we just got back into the short. And it just went down 50 cents for us. Yeah, so we're short here at 80. Just came into 40, so 40 cents back down. Could take what we lost on that. Let's see. I'd rather just give it a second. And the reason why I did get back in is because of the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's trying to go 15.2, right? So I actually talked about this with Max a little bit while we were sitting here during lunch, and that was like to take in consideration some of these bigger levels, right, that are coming on the NASDAQ, and maybe not punching in and out just so rapidly when these levels come. So 15.2, we've sort of seen that there. There is an opportunity for it to drop down quite a bit off of that level, or break it to the high side. I mean, that's what we're here to trade with, right? We're here to put in the best probabilities into the market and then see if we can manage the trade from there. And I think a 15.2, let's just see. We kind of just bounced off of it a little bit there. You know, that's where this is the 200 period, sorry, the green. The 50 period is the pink right there, and then VWAP is mixed up in here, a little bit down here. But you're gonna have to wait to see on that. So let's take the short back in as we hope that we may have caught a top a little bit there. Not in Nvidia, or not necessarily in the market, but that could have just flushed out some people, including myself, but we have the ability to get back in like that. So there we are now. Okay, now it's 50 cents in the money. Let's see if it can go from top back to the 50. That's a good little retracement there. Well, of course, we don't have as many shares back on, but that's okay. This will keep us positive on the name, and hopefully this will fall back in a little bit for us there on Nvidia as that is retracing. We also tried an Apple short. That was a quick 10 cents or so, breaking through 50. Maybe we can get that back in. So a couple quick little losers there as the market did bump up, but again, not putting on anything too serious until we see something a little more serious. And for right now, I just don't really see that in. So we're gonna have to give it a couple times here, see if it can test it. Then if we break back down below, maybe below this 50 period, then we can really get going. But we're 50 cents in the money on Google and 37 cents in the money now on this Nvidia trade. What people are talking about Upstart, we can find out if there's news on this, but Upstart just with a big candle break of 40. I guess that's all that it is. I don't want to think this is news. Up another 9% today. Wow, Upstart really getting started now. Wow, start me up. Rolling Stones? No?
No.
Oh, man. Okay.
What can I say?
Yeah, Rolling Stones, never heard of them.
I mean, I've heard of the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Okay,
but
no songs.
not
Okay,
the song.
so anyways, yeah, $40 getting going for Upstart right now as it just continues to go.
I'm watching Tesla as well. Oh, $40 is recent highs on Upstart.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Okay.
Look at the daily again,
Wow.
as both of us are looking up at our other screens right now.
Okay,
we have
that
multiple.
could be-
No, it's okay. We have multiple screens up here, and looking at dailies on Upstart. I like that trade through $40, but we've already missed it.
Yeah.
You
That's
ever
pretty
trade something on the way
exciting,
back
though.
through like that?
Yeah, you can, but it's just like the short interest
What
on
is
something
it?
like that is 35%.
Yeah.
This move that we've had up is probably scaring some people. I mean, yeah, I kind of wish I just had that long.
Yeah, I think we all wish we had that one, that's for sure. As that's coming through right now for the long. All right, well, guess what's happening right now? Nvidia really starting to... Money. Screw you, Nvidia. I mean, I'm sure you're going to be joining the dollar club, and that's all great right now. But realistically, man, I mean, we should be up a little bit more than we are on this trade. Yes, there it is, $1 now in the money on that retracement. If that... Whatever, we got squeezed out there. That's going to happen. We talk about that all the time. It's part of trading. And if you're not living with, getting stopped out a little bit either too early or where you maybe don't think you should have got stopped out on, we put the trades in and are 100% responsible, obviously, for every single trade that we do. So, you're going to have to be very, very careful and make sure that you do watch your positions very closely and only put on the best trades that you can find, and that's sometimes hard to find. So I'm still happy with it. Would have liked to have had a little bit of a better outcome than getting stopped like that, but there it is. It just bounced off the 50. So we'll hold this in case that was the top. But again, a pretty decent trade for me coming back in there on Nvidia and making that $1 now. Just wish we didn't have that stop out. But, I wish I was a little bit taller and a baller. Oh, did you ever look up who Wembenyama was yet?
No, I did not. But,
right, all good.
I mean, you explained it to me.
Carvana is now available to trade 24 hours a day. Oh, is that on Blue Skies? Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of, is it called Blue Ocean, I think it was? There is
Robinhood also has their new
and
platform.
Robinhood has it. Yeah, that's who they're connected with.
Oh, it is?
They're connected
Okay.
through, I think it's Blue Ocean, I think. They're connected now, so you can trade symbols 24/7. I don't know what the liquidity's like. Maybe if you guys have looked at that. I don't have a Robinhood account or anything like that, but I think that would be pretty interesting to talk about. So let us know if any of you guys are trading that 24/7 and sort of what that looks like from there. So SoFi also moving. You got anything on your mind here as we look through a couple different names?
I'm looking at Tesla at this 270. That's basically where VWAP is. It's been a key level for some time now. I don't feel like the market's going to put in a big move today, so I'm wondering if this gets above 270, does a little bit of volume between 270 and the $0.50, and then you can just take it right back through 270 for a potential move into like 268 or even lower if it wants to put in that kind of afternoon sell-off move that we've seen Tesla do before. So I'll be watching that if it gets above 270. I'm not really, it's not my style of trade to take it like right now and give it to the 270 break. I just want to see it get up there and actually fail that VWAP level. So I'll be watching Tesla 270. That PWM at 29 looks interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if I have the stomach for this one today. This is pretty nuts, and some of those capitulation candles to the downside have been kind of nasty. This one in particular, 27, halt down into 25, and then opening at 23. Like, I don't know if I have it in me to hold through a move like that today. So I think I will stick with my Carvana as far as the short squeeze stocks go. Although Upstart is looking really good at the moment. Probably could have just taken that retest of 40 there. You're risking like 10 cents. Now it's already 30 cents in the money, looking for a new high. Volume's really light though. So, I mean, sometimes I feel like if the volume's really light on something that's done, oh God, we lost it. That's done a move up like this, that you know, the volume could come in on a short squeeze to the high side and it just keeps going and going. But yeah, I don't know on Upstart today. I feel like I kind of missed the trade. That 40 break was 8. You give it 20 cents, and probably looking for 41, 42 if I can find a level on the daily chart. Just kind of a gap into 41, and then lots of room up above that.
I can't believe you called that $50 level, and I was like, yeah, $50, yeah, right. And then you smashed to 30. That was a great trade. Great trade, man, great trade. And your Tesla trade this morning was banging as well. I mean, that's the other thing too, is that we talk about it all the time. I don't like the saying per se, like cash is a position. That's like saying long is a position. I mean, yeah, obviously cash is a position, and if you don't see, like, even though I'm in 2 positions right now, I have a lot of cash that can get deployed at any time, right? So I just feel like when you're sitting on your hands, that's what you're doing. You're waiting for something to happen. So yeah. Cash is a position, and that is something that when you're looking at a Carvana, maybe you wait again for that big level break, and if it can come up to $35 again, then yay, that could be a trade for all of us as well. You know what's a position right now that I wish I still had? This sucks, man. So, all right, PWM, Prestige Wealth Management, something like that. All right, so we were trading it pretty good. We got that 26 break when it happened, right? So PWM. I keep thinking I'm going to say PMW, but that's not what it is. PWM right there. So, all right, so we went long on this 26 break. It kept on building up. This is exactly, we talked about this on Friday with Neil, and it was like barcoding through 17, 18, and I was like, if it breaks 19 or whatever the top was, then it's gone. And that happened, and it just shot right up, and I was like, oh man, I can't believe I missed it when I was talking right about that trade. So that was a little foolish in the first place. The second thing was, today I saw the same thing happening again right now. We started sort of barcoding a little bit, trying to build it up. Would have loved to buy some down here at 24, missed it. Took the 26 break, that's 50 cents. Then that's at 28, so that's about $2 right there. Then all of a sudden, I was sitting here, everything was all good, man. I don't know, I might even be talking to the wife. Boom, I was actually. And I was like, remember, oh, I gotta let you go, it halted.
Yeah.
And then it came all the way down there. I was still in a third of this position. So what I decided to do was put a market on open trade. Just because I felt like, wherever this opens, we can get out if it breaks back down below too much. We only had a third left, so we tried it. And then we were able to get a great fill down there at 24 when we reopened. So that was killer, man. And then it just started to sort of moon off that. Then we got a 25.50 fill. So again, that's 23.75 on the reopen. That's 25.50. So that's $2 or $1.75 right there. Then I put a stop in to say, hey, we got $1.75 on that last piece. Let's, unfortunately, let's see what happens on this. Then it does break down through there, $23, and we got out on the 23 break. So about a 75-cent hit there. Now you can see PWM continues to work, and now you're doing the same thing again. You're kind of like, trying to find bottoms. You're bouncing off the 50 period. This seems, I know how ridiculous this is, and I kind of feel foolish sometimes sitting here and like looking at this and trying to talk about technicals. But I think what we're really looking for is a gather of shares, then the pop back up, right? And so I feel like the next little run, not here, why not just, and this is going to sound silly again, but taking out 29.
Yeah.
Right here on PWM. I feel like that's the next trade, and I'm going to take it. So if we bust through 29, which could happen right now, I am going to put this one on a breakthrough 29. Just got to get my. Don't let me forget about this. Like, I missed the Carvana because, again, we talk about things and I missed it. But here comes 29 right now. I'm going to set up a stop order.
That's coming in hot there on that PWM. Carvana, maybe these are trading in sympathy at the moment because both kind of starting to heat up at the same time. That PWM looks really juicy at that 29
where do we get
level.
out, though, if we're wrong? What is that, 27.50? Okay.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. And then, you're trying to get like $100 per share out of it, right? Something
that's
crazy.
it, at least.
Like, at least $100 per share. Maybe it's going to 3,000.
Yeah, I'm going 90 to 1 risk to reward on this one. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, here it comes right now.
It could happen.
Here comes 28, 29. So I'm going to go long. You're going to see me get executed into that. I just crossed up 20 cents, so I wouldn't be surprised if I maybe missed. Sorry, I crossed up. Actually, I only crossed up 15 cents. Maybe I should change this up right now. I don't know what, and what we mean by that is so I'm hands off right now, and I can explain what we're talking about. There we go. Missed it.
Ouch. Oh.
All right. So what I was talking about. See, I wonder what you had to have crossed. You didn't get it, did you?
I wasn't trying to
You
take it.
weren't trying
No.
to take it. You're smarter than that.
I mean, the 30 looks good too. These are all new levels, right? There's no resistance at all on this stock. It's just where does the algo want to send it?
Oh no, it's not pulling back. It is.
I'm wondering if 30 is a good buy.
Sorry, sorry, Matt.
Oh, yeah, breaks 30. That 30 break was good too. If it can hold, can it hold? I guess you got to give it like back. You probably have to give that to 28. I don't know. I don't know how to trade these, but wow, that 29 break was pretty solid there. Yeah.
Man, I'm really glad I crossed up 15 cents.
Yeah, I wonder what you would have had to cross on that because the liquidity is basically nothing.
I saw 40 on the bid, but you know what? I'm not going to beat a dead horse with that. I was just going to explain why and what that means when you're crossing up. And you see, like, I guess to be expected, right? I mean, sometimes you get the fill, sometimes you don't. I'm not really going to change around any of the strategy, but what I was going to say was I thought I crossed up 20, it was only 15. I'd hate for someone to tell me they got long 29.20 there because then I'd be upset, but it's okay. So on the 20 break, all what I mean by that is slippage. So once it breaks 29, I tell our software, it's pretty intuitive. It just reads the time in sales. It's very basic. And it just says the minute that there's a print that comes greater than the price that I put in. So I put in 29.01 because I didn't care about the pennies or anything like that. So the minute that it breaks through 29, I didn't care about dark pools or whatever. I wanted to get long. So then I put in not a market order. I never use market orders unless I'm stuck on something, I need to panic to get out. Maybe that's how I would use it. But in that situation, a market order would have worked because that would have got us long. But instead, it only crossed up 15 cents. So it only crossed up, actually not even 15 cents because I put in 01. So it only crossed up to 29.15. So it only crossed up 14 cents, missed the trade. And then when it just took off, I didn't have any shares on board. So the reason why you don't cross up more than that, like if you put in a market order, you could have got long 29.70 or 29.80, I feel like, right there. That would have been great because it ripped to 31. So that would have been fine. But what often happens, you hear Neil complain about it, you hear myself complain about it, and that is like, oh, what was that slippage? And sometimes it's like, if you're slipping 70 cents, what if that's the high and then it comes right back in again? So that's part of what you have to work with when you're dealing on smaller cap, low float names. Sometimes you can get a horrible price. Like you could get, if you put in a market price, you could get $40.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if asks get pulled there, then boom, you're lit up. And that's, I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it's not a fun feeling. Like that's happened to me on that when this happened. Right here. We were here at $28, then bang, it crashed all the way to 25. That's $3 straight down, giving an instant halt, and then the tap was like 21 or 22. So I go from being $2 or $3 in the money to being out $7 right there real quick. So obviously the tap got a little bit better, and we were able to do fine on it, but that's the story about PWM as it continues to go. And by the way, Nvidia, I mean, it's right here right now. So we'll dance it off. It's a Dollar Club winner right there. So, you know, we'll take it. And very nice, kind words. Thanks, Greg, there. You appreciated that plaque, and it's now up back over there. So I want to thank Greg and Fahad and everybody that participated in that for Mount Sinai Hospital. And that's what it's all about here, giving back as much as we can. And you remember when Fahad shaved his head as well for the Syria relief. So that was really special for us as well. So that's it. That was Bears. Thanks, Bears versus Bulls. That was a little bit of education there about PWM. But I hope you guys found that somewhat interesting and hopefully profitable to trade. That's the most important.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like it didn't even get to $31. It got to $30.90 or whatever. Yeah. So if you are crossing up 70 cents there, your risk reward is barely even 1-to-1. So I don't know if that makes a tremendous amount of sense, but if it does take out this 31 and go up into a halt or something like that, then it would make some sense. I forgot about Tesla during all of this excitement, and it did what I wanted it to, but it's really holding up here and holding the trend to the upside, so I'm not really as bearish on it as maybe I was thinking before. This is kind of a clean rejection of VWAP, did basically what I wanted to see, and now we start to accelerate down. Maybe it's breaking 269 and going all the way down, but not the way that I would like to execute on it, taking a breakdown like that. I want to see it like rejecting the level, and then it gives me this clean risk reward of 40 cents. So unfortunately missed that one. We'll see what happens on Tesla. I mean, going back above 270 and doing a little more volume above there might actually be a way to get long this stock if it wants to come all the way back during this on this Monday afternoon. Carvana is really doing nothing and kind of boring me. Almost not worth the stress of being in a Carvana position, but
I was thinking the same thing here with Nvidia.
Chilling in the money, but it's in the money by almost nothing. We did end up getting like 55 cents in the money at one point, but I was looking for the continuation move. Gonna stop out if we take out 32.75 there, where we broke out from previously. I don't know what to think. I mean, it's not going down, so that's good. We'll see if we can hold the 50 period here, this red line, and keep moving upwards as my teal line has turned gray after I crashed my chart there. So we're gonna have to fix that up. I can't have this gray line on the chart when we talk about the teal all the time. Upstart taking out the high again, I believe, right now.
Really?
So Upstart looking real good off that 40 level. 40.63 the high. We're trading at 58s right now. The short squeeze is on for this one. Short squeeze is on for a lot of names too. I noticed Novavax today squeezed up like 12% or something. Or no, sorry, not 12%. 30% for Novavax off of some news that the government of Canada is going to have to pay them some money. Good for us as taxpayers around here, but yeah, it looks like Novavax just squeezed right off the open and didn't stop. Made a high at 950. If we take out this high again into power hour and then just keep going, I mean, could probably find a way to get long this Novavax name. Seems like the volume's kind of dried up though, going into the afternoon on this one. And Tesla did make the move that I was looking for pretty much. Gives you $1 off that 270. So that was a bit of a miss there. I'm just long Carvana waiting for something to happen. PWM kind of dying. So fails that 29 break eventually.
PWM quadunc, someone just said there.
I don't know that I would categorize it as a quadunc. If it takes out 25 and then rips down at 23, 22, that's more of a quadunc. This is more of a expected failed breakout out of a insane stock like one of these. Yeah, something like that. I think like taking out 31 now at this point, if we just soak up this dip entirely and then take out 31 right now, that probably gives you a decent long opportunity. Again, not something that I'm willing to risk on today, but I see the idea behind it. I definitely see the idea. If you wanted to do that, risk $1 down to 30, I guess, and see if you can get up into the 40s or 50s or something, or maybe it goes to 500. Anything possible on these insane Chinese IPO names. HKD, new high? Oh my God.
Don't even talk about it. Last week we had Vinco Ventures. Are you just saying that, or HKD is for real?
HKD is at $7. It in the past hour or so, HKD is absolutely flying. No volume though, 1.4 mil, going for $7. I don't know where it's been recently. This is kind of a daily breakout actually on HKD, that $7 level, into like 8 and then maybe 10. HKD squeezed from $9 to $70 recently. I didn't even notice that this year.
Yeah,
wow.
Man, HKD was the one that.
I know it's the one that was 2,500. I didn't realize it went from 9 to 70 this year though. That looks kind of small on this chart.
I've already talked about. It's funny that Brad showed that video because that's exactly what I've been talking about forever. Like Neil's tells me the market's not rigged and all that stuff, and I'm just like, okay. But all those. And again, not that it's Chinese name or that this could be happening in any country, but this was an example on crypto. Like I just really think that when you can start pushing around some stocks there, and you have little to nothing to worry about. The United States is not going to be like, for example, the SEC is not going into Guangzhou or anything like that, looking for. Who's responsible behind all this volume that's been hitting right now, right? And so, again, like what I mean by that is like there's a lot of these lower float Chinese names that are for some reason being allowed to list on these open exchanges with little to no float. I feel like are being manipulated. I mean, I don't think that's rocket science or anything like that to talk about that. Like, what's the material news that's making things like this happen? It's ridiculous. And then it floats all the way down. And then what? All of a sudden it's silent. And then what? More no material news, bringing this thing back up to the upside. Now, small little 8, 9, 10% moves happen all the time. And the other part about this too has nothing to do with where these traders are located. We saw it happen here in our markets with AMC and GameStop and that Roaring Kitty, right? Obviously an American, and that got everyone rallied up there on socials with Reddit, and that made a lot of sense too, man. I mean, part of it too is also fighting back against the system. Like I can understand that. Like you're upset about all these gains that the Citadels and the big hedge funds and some of the liquidity providers are sort of doing to this market. That was kind of like revenge of the street there, or not of the street, of the people against Wall Street with some of those squeeze plays. So I'm all for it. I mean, I was just randomly in call. The funniest part about this, man, I had $2 calls on AMC randomly. And I was talking about that before that move even happened because of how low it was. And we were able to catch. I got out like when I went to $8 or something. I wasn't one of those like moonchilds or anything like that. But that was really nice to see. And I think that could happen again. And maybe it's not going to happen on GameStop or AMC, and it's going to happen on HKD or PWM or anything like that as we continue to go higher. So stay tuned, man. You saw Upstart today, and let's look at another name. What about my guy right here? What's up with Palantir? Where's my hat? Oh, here it is, right here. That's pretty convenient. All right, so Palantir right now. Shout out to Pradley, Palantir investor. Here's the hat right here. We've been talking about Palantir for a long time on this show. It gets in the way with the light, and then people always complain and say, "Oh, I can't see your beautiful eyes." People say the eyes part, not the other part. But now that Palantir's made this move today, it's been a huge move up, man. I mean, that was straight fire. And again, volume trying to pick up again. No halting on this one. But Palantir, again, a nice move up. The daily chart looks beautiful. I got some of the family money in on it down here as well. But then I found out that my father sold some of it up here, and pretty much all of it up at 13 or 14. Gave him a little bit of shit for that. But now it's making the move again back up to the upside. I've still got some of this. I've been selling none of Palantir. I like the big data. I've been liking this company for a long time. I was really happy when it went public for the first time. I was able to get money in that first run down at $9 on a direct listing. But after 22 years, I think maybe a little bit longer than that Palantir's been around, they finally had some back-to-back profitable quarters, and now they're looking to extend that. So this is one of the most interesting names for me coming up into the next earnings season, going to be Palantir. I think that's well worth looking at for all you traders that are potentially involved in Palantir. I really, I do like what they're doing, and I do think that big data is going to have their day, especially with AI. I mean, they've already had it, man. It's been a double up since their last report, so I do like Palantir here today. As we are getting ready, I think we have Danielle Shea at some point today. Maybe it's been not on, but we'll see if she does come through. So anybody that is waiting for that, we do still expect her in. So once that's there, we will be there. Yeah, Darwin. Oh, don't even call Clover a former Sean stock. This is another one where, look, I like Chamath. I mean, he went to Waterloo where Neil went, so I don't hold that against him. But my son's also going to Waterloo. He knows that Laurier's what's up with that, but he's in computer science and all that stuff. So, but anyways, Clover, another name that's been absolutely beat down in the healthcare space. Clover Health. Again, we don't have this here in Canada. Our healthcare system is quite different than over there in the United States. But another name that's just been absolutely beat down. I think I'm long. I'll have to double check my account because it's been so long. I think I'm long somewhere between. I think I started buying at like $3 or $4. Now I don't know if I've averaged in. I will double check that. That's another one that I've been getting killed on, as well as Paysafe. I don't know if you guys remember this name. This is already reverse split. So this name is hot garbage as well for me. So there's been a lot of stock that I took some shots on, including marijuana names. The stocks that we're still holding are up in smoke, but we were able to make money on that. We got involved in some of these names at early days, so it's all good. But the paper that I'm holding now is worthy of other kind of paper, and it's the kind that you flush down the toilet. So anyways, that's what that is right now. Paysafe's another one of those garbage stocks that I expect to get back to the upside, but who knows? Paysafe bouncing off $10. Oh, you see Kat back there. Kat, give a wave. There she is. She's welcome back, Kat. Feeling much better. And on that note,
hola, like and subscribe today.
So there it is, right there. I will take off the hat. And Max, I've been talking a lot.
You have.
So I hope you're ready to rock and roll because you have any trades on or no?
I still have this Carvana on,
What's
and
up
I
with
think
that?
we can't talk about these piece of crap companies that short squeeze without talking about Carvana. That's the one today. Still trying to take out that 33.50 for real. I still have my order to get longer at 34. I'm wondering if that's a bad idea, but I don't know. I don't really care. I think I want to be as long as possible if Carvana wants to really squeeze. And I don't know. I feel like there's sympathy here with Upstart moving. That probably helps. This Carvana play with HKD and PWM moving. Maybe there's that's diluting people's attention from Carvana this afternoon. But I think we take out 34. There's a very high degree of probability, as Obi might say, that we're going to hit 35 and then break that. So just keep trying to stay long, trying to get longer. See what happens on this one. Tesla did my move, but it's really going nowhere. Like no names really want to make a move today, so everything just kind of coming right back to the mean, not meme. I keep coming right back to the meme, which is Carvana. But yeah, nothing really wanted to make any kind of decided move on the large cap front. Where is Tesla? Tesla just kind of chilling in range, the range being 268 up to that 270 price. I don't know. Roll the dice to pick the direction on this one today. Maybe just ends up closing in this range. There we go on Carvana. All right. Now the volume's starting to come in. So we're at 75s now. Let's see if we can take this out. I mean, if we fail this breakout above 60, above 50, I'd probably just bail out of this one. I'm getting bored, but I think that pretty good shot to take out 34 right now. And potentially see 35 this afternoon. Come on, where are those buyers? They need that liquidity on 73. Who's trying to sell there? Random price. Yeah, I think this can go. What else? Nvidia's trying to take out 422. That's kind of interesting. I like the short there, I think, back into 420. I feel like we closed somewhere near 420 on Nvidia today. So the idea of kind of double topping here at 422.20 kind of area, and then coming right back down into 420 makes some sense to me, and maybe you get a bit more continuation. I mean, the market is flat. NASDAQ down or up 0.04, and Nvidia currently down 1%. So, you know, if it wants to continue that move today, I think this is a decent spot, risk to reward wise, that you could get in somewhere just above 422, giving it 422.5, maybe 423 if you like that kind of risk management structure, giving it a little more space, and then, you know, hope that it fails and comes back down into these prices, 419, maybe even gets back down into 418, 417. Lower than that. HKD is taking out the high as well.
What?
Yeah, new high on HKD, 735, going nuts. 740. All right, HKD. I am not going to play this one. I think I took one trade on HKD one time, like an $8 break or something like that, and I lost on it, and that's all I've ever done on that one. And yeah, Carvana getting closer and closer to that $34 kind of breakout price that I've indicated, but it's so slow, and the volume's just not really there. I'm wondering if maybe I don't have the right idea on this one. I should just be taking the 50 cents and being happy with another scalp, but I don't know. I think got to stick with the big picture today. That's what happened on Friday, is that it made new highs after 3 o'clock. So.
Ooh, here we go. Yeah, we are. You might have just saw that. We are reloaded right now. So we are reloaded right now. Look at Nvidia. Yeah, buddy. There it is right now. We just got short here at 422. We talked about that trade. There it is. 80 cents in there again. We're going to see if we can get it back in to the dollar club. Is it Miss Shea now or just over to Brendo? Did you want me to go to Brendan? Happening now. Let's go over to Brendo.
Brought to you a few things that are still moving around here as far as the last hour of the day is concerned, including a few things we were discussing early on this morning. If you were with us, one of those, Rivian, Alibaba as well was on the docket. Meta with this 100 million mark achieved in 5 days for their brand new social media offering, Threads, beating out ChatGPT, which was, 2 months it took for ChatGPT, 8 weeks to get there. Meta does it in 5 days, obviously pulling from their Instagram database. We'll get Ms. Shea's opinion on that. Coming up here in a second, Nvidia, meanwhile, back to the downside right now, having a problem with 422, it would appear. Netflix as well, 0.8 in positive territory, guys. If you want to run that, Fabian. By Hui's, a digital insurance platform in China, chosen by insurance giants for its broad market access and expertise in customization, enabling them to reach a wider audience and offer specialized solutions. And guys, she's just getting set and ready. We'll get to her in a minute.
Well, not double check, but tell everybody that Danielle Shea from now, normally, I just saw in our chat there, normally 245, but will be 305 moving forward. So that'd be great to have her come back on in just a couple minutes, talk all about earnings season. What I meant, first of all, Nvidia, we took out some money. Hopefully it can come back in here a little bit. We just took out half of what we had. So right now, again, cannot be a losing trade. Our stop, I mean, look where our stop was, a little bit higher than that. So about 25, 30 cents worth of a stop, which is why we take about that 30 cents. Then we take 70 cents, and now we'll see if it can get a little bit lower. But I just feel like that's the way I want to trade this, and so that's what I'm doing there on Nvidia. The other trade, thanks to John Riz and everything, keeps talking about the kind of trading that we're doing and making a little bit of cash here. So it's been really great. So thank you so much, John, for that as well. But Bitcoin right now, it's not really mooning. I mean, I hear people saying Bitcoin's mooning. Shout out to all you Bitcoin lovers there in the chat. We can have a look at Coinbase. I mean, that's something that we like to trade when said Bitcoin starts to move. This is a 1 minute chart right now. So I guess, yeah, I mean, no volume, really pretty dead. This is just from Kraken, so I don't know. I just use these charts. They look pretty clean. They always seem to load pretty good. 30,300 up to 30,006 right now. So there's the move there on BTC. So we can definitely have a look one more time and see what exactly is happening there with Coinbase. You mentioned, whoa, $80. Hello. Right now, this is a good one, I think, right? There on Coinbase, so $80. Where do we get to on the daily? That is the daily, so yeah. 81.50 maybe on the daily. What does it look like here? There's that move. There's that move. So the correlation is still strong with this one, it seems like, when Bitcoin starts to go up to the upside, as does Coinbase right there. So again, just a little tip, right? If you're looking at both of those names, definitely trade the one with the movement. And it looks like that's going to be Coinbase against Bitcoin. So just be careful. Watch the underlying. So I always do that. That's why I look at the futures. I sort of was trained to always try never to fight the trend. I mean, I was self-trained. I graduated in my very first month, was really lucky to do that. Prad has written down on his Twitter that he's the fastest graduate. It's not even close. Anyways, it's not. But the idea would be is that I would always looking for a leading indicator. So right now the market is a little decoupled from some of these trades. As you can see, sometimes the NASDAQ will rip up and vice versa. But I always like to look at the NASDAQ versus names that are in the NASDAQ. And now, of course, that we continue to trade here every single day, Apple's become such a greater percentage now of not only the NASDAQ, but also the ES. Hard to trade Apple while looking because they'll often look almost exactly the same, but that's just another little tip there. If you're gonna trade oil names, you should look at oil futures. And if you're gonna trade NASDAQ names, make sure you look at the NASDAQ 100, which is what we always have up right there. So I try not to, go long on names when we are go short on names when we're above the 50 period, and especially VWAP, and vice versa. So that's why when you're seeing me in a position like Nvidia here, and it comes back in and the market's still pretty high, I'll hold a little bit in case we get a retracement, but also definitely worth taking profits on dips like that. So far so good here, but that's just a little bit of how I trade. And, I hope you guys are able to take some of that, and put it into your trading abilities as well. So, all right, we've got the Palantir hat on right now, and we are ready to go over to Brendan and Miss Danielle Shea.
All right, as promised, Danielle Shea, VP of Options from Simpler Trading, back with us after a bit of a summer hiatus, July 4th hiatus. Good to see you, Danielle. Welcome back.
Thanks. Good to see you too.
It's been a little bit quiet, a little bit sleepy as far as the overall market is concerned. I was saying to someone this morning, it kind of feels like 2019 again. Everything just goes up and there's no real volatility to talk about very much anyways. But a few individual storylines we'll get into. One of those came last week. I was off, but the entire EV group exploded after Rivian comes out and says, hey, guess what? Our delivery is way better than our expected. Manufacturing numbers also way better than expected. Give me your thoughts here, I guess, on the group itself to kick things off. Do we finally have more to talk about when it comes to electric vehicles?
I do think that we do. And Tesla also had fantastic delivery numbers as well. Now, when you look at Rivian and then you look at Tesla, completely different story, obviously, because you do have Tesla backing that up with numbers. But the reason why I do like Rivian here is because if you look at this chart, you have high short interest and you're also breaking up above your previous highs. So if you look at this lower time frame chart, for example, the 78-minute chart, we have these nice green candles. We have these blue dots on the candles. That means you have high volume, above average volume on these bars. And when you have that signal, plus a combined signal on the higher time frame chart, which is a break above multiple previous highs, plus a 10% high short interest, that right there is just a short squeeze. So I can't say I like the cars and I don't think that they have any amazing delivery numbers or anything like that. But for a trading setup, probably could trade it up into 30, 32 before you look at the next resistance zone.
Just double checking here on when they are up. I believe it's still ways away as far as earnings are concerned. Yeah, August. We got to wait a few more weeks for Rivian to actually come through with earnings, but good to see anyways. It's been the Tesla show for years when it comes to electric vehicles, so it's good to see something else actually in the conversation for once. Speaking of conversations, the AI conversation continues to gain steam, if you will. It was Goldman Sachs this morning comes out and says, okay, fine, we'll buy Nvidia and you should too. So everyone's still on the Nvidia bandwagon here.
Well, it's crazy because in the first few months of the year, I thought it was going to be one of those situations like the metaverse, right? Where we trade it and then it's a dead idea. But at this point, with the APIs and the way that ChatGPT can integrate into everything, it's just, it's taking over, and every company is using it, and there are just unlimited amounts of various applications. And so, I do think that this is going to be continuing to be a very strong theme. And when you look at the Nvidia chart, I could personally never recommend anyone to buy the shares here after it's already up, like what, 168% or something. Don't quote me exactly on that, but around that level this year. But for me as a trader, like, I'm absolutely going to focus on trading tickers like this. There's literally nothing better for a trader than to get something that is so hyped up in the market, because it has major moves. So I'm not going to be buying more shares of stock. And, it is pretty extended on the weekly chart frame, even though I will tell you, if I get another upside target, it's going to be up at 468 and then at 500. But on the lower time frame charts, just keep trading this thing, because I have a 4-hour chart here, and this 4-hour chart is showing again another round of consolidation. And when you see this consolidation on that time frame, you can get another breakout up into 450. That's a perfect time frame for a swing trader. You have earnings coming up soon, and I think AI is going to be a major in focus area.
Finally, we get back into earnings season officially coming up at the end of the week this week. I was just double checking. I think we have to wait, as far as tech is concerned, some of the chip names got to wait a little bit into August before we actually get them coming through. But hey, it's something to look forward to at this point. There's a few individual names I think people are associating with this AI group. C3 AI, for example, another one. Obviously, the rest of the chips kind of jumping on the bandwagon, jumping on the coattails, if you will, of Nvidia. Is there somewhere else we can look, or is there somewhere else you're focusing on for a trade when it comes to AI?
So I'm looking at Microsoft specifically because, Microsoft, they have their investment in OpenAI ChatGPT, but I do like AMD as well. Now, all the focus has been on Nvidia, right? But at the same time, AMD is set to have a pretty large percentage of market share overall. And I think that because it has not reclaimed that previous all-time high, that's what we can do, is we can focus on trading this one. Now, I will admit that it doesn't have the perfect setup that I like to see. Normally, when I'm going into an earnings report, what I like to see is I like to see that the previous quarter, it had, a nice gap up post earnings. I like to see that it traded higher going into earnings the previous quarter. That's not the case with AMD this quarter. So last quarter, it gapped down 7.9%. It actually traded lower going into earnings. So I'm not looking for a huge run up into earnings as I normally would with AMD. But because it's just a little bit on the quiet side, I do think it's a good time to be continuing to build up shares, because as you mentioned, like, this is not going away anytime soon, and I like this space. So I like AMD. I'm not trading it right here, but I wanted to buy some more shares. Microsoft, this is a nice move lower. You've got to move down into the 34 EMA. Key area of support at 325. You have earnings coming up. You have consolidation on the daily chart. So I like Microsoft here to reclaim that previous high right around 350. And then ultimately, I'd love to see it up at 365 and then 400 someday. So those are the ones I'm really focused on right now.
It's interesting. I mentioned earlier, I was reading on the weekend, ChatGPT usage had fallen off a cliff since the end of June, which obviously ties into the school year coming to an end. But we'll see what happens when things get back up and running again in September. Not suggesting that people should be writing essays with ChatGPT, but obviously they are. At Trader Danielle on Twitter, right? Am I right on that? Yes, at Trader Danielle on Twitter. Is it going to be at Trader Danielle on Threads now as well, Ms. Shea?
No, I've never been a big fan of Instagram or Facebook as far as using the applications. I much prefer using Twitter. I cannot get away from the spam bots on Instagram and Facebook. Anytime I try to post anything, I mean, they're just after me trying to scam people for Bitcoin. So I can hardly use the thing personally. But when you look at this stock chart, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. The way that that Meta has recovered off of the lows, I specifically like the way that it behaved on earnings the last 2 quarters. So if you look at last quarter, you had 14.6% gap up, breakaway gap. It's continued to rally. Quarter before that, you had a 19.8% gap up, continue to rally. It is making amazing progress as far as recovering all of the losses that it occurred over the course of the bear market. So when you look at Meta and you see those kinds of patterns, this is exactly the kind of stock that will generally trade higher going into earnings. I mean, you can see that that's already happening. Now, earnings is going to be on the 26th. What that means is that there's just still time. There's still time to look at this stock, trade it higher going into earnings. So, I mean, I'm not buying the whole threads thing, but I still like the stock, and I think it's worth a trade higher going into that report.
It's interesting in the sense that so many people are, on Twitter and are used to Twitter, and the conversation is on Twitter. Obviously, say what you will about the context of some of the conversations on Twitter, but is something similar just because it's made by Meta going to attract everyone to make that shift? Remains to be seen. Obviously, 100 million users in 5 days is pretty impressive. Nevertheless, they're obviously dipping into their Instagram pool of users to produce that number. But yeah, it's an interesting concept. We'll see if it has legs going forward. I mean, we're into earnings season here, as we mentioned, coming up on Friday. Big banks kick it off as they have for the past couple of years. Give me your thoughts on the banks. They've been kind of boring over the past month or so as far as a trade is concerned. But maybe from a general perspective, is there something that you kind of have starred on your calendar for earnings season?
Yeah. So when you look at the banks, the most important thing for me is the way that they react post earnings. And so the reason why that's so important is because it can either give a boost to tech going into earnings. Let's say the reaction to banks is really positive and news comes out, they're trading higher on Friday. What then happens generally is, you're going to see Netflix, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, those stocks start to trade higher as people anticipate positive earnings, upcoming in the next 2 weeks. So for me, when I look at banks, that is what is the most important. I really just care about the reaction, because what can happen is when the banks come out and they have a bunch of negative news, it just throws a wet blanket on earnings season, and that can really impact any kind of pre-earnings trades that you have on. So when I'm looking at the banks, that's primarily what I'm focused on. This quarter in particular, I'm a little bit back and forth on it, because you have JP Morgan that's typically strong. If you look at this JP Morgan chart, I mean, you can see that last quarter it gapped up 4.8%. You had that breakaway gap. And that was a really positive sign, especially compared to the last 6 or 7 quarters where the majority of the time it's traded lower. So I do think that there is like a hint of a shining star with JP Morgan. I do typically look at JP Morgan to the long side. It's my favorite out of the banks. The rest of the banks can, they can really be back and forth. If you look at Bank of America, if you look at Wells Fargo, Bank of America, I don't particularly enjoy because it's in a downtrend and it will trade higher sometimes on earnings, but then it just resumes its downtrend. So can't really be bullish on that. Goldman Sachs used to be a really strong bank to trade to the upside, but over the course of the last year and a half, it's traded sideways. So I stopped being too bullish on Goldman Sachs. In the last 2 quarters, it's traded lower post earnings. Then you get to Morgan Stanley, and Morgan Stanley, half the time it's up, half the time it's down, and it's been trading essentially sideways for the last year and a half. So I'm not looking for anything major from any of the banks except for JP Morgan. But ideally, they can at least do better than what people want to get a nice boost into the second and third week of earnings season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of kick things off and get a feel for how things should play out over the coming weeks. But something to look forward to, for the overall market as well. Just quickly to wrap things up, CPI, PPI, both set for this week, starting on Wednesday, the big one, obviously the latest inflation data ahead of the Fed next week. I mean, the last couple have been really a non-event as far as CPI is concerned. As far as the Fed, let's be honest, is concerned, the market only seems to want to go up. What are your thoughts here going into this?
So when you look at these upcoming numbers, I do think that it's probably going to be the most important event this week, just because there has been a little bit more jitters as it relates to the Fed recently, because, now we may be hiking another half point or so. But, when I look at the NASDAQ charts, I mean, they're still very positive. So if you look at this, NASDAQ futures chart, you've pulled back, you've hit this 15,000 price point. That's a critical area of support. We've seen a nice bounce there. If we look at the lower time frame charts, I mean, you can see you have a 4-hour chart that's still very bullish. You've had this little bit of a pullback, but when you get that pullback, you get that consolidation that can then break out to the upside. So I'm looking at the charts going into this as remaining bullish. Could there be a huge surprise? Sure, there always could be a surprise, but I'm leaning towards CPI not being too big of a deal. And then after that event is over, ideally, we can continue this upward trend going into earnings.
It'll be 2 days this week, obviously, and then next week we get the actual decision. I just checked, 92.5%. in favor of another quarter point to come from our friend Mr. Powell at their next meeting. At Trader Danielle on Twitter, not yet on Threads, but we'll get her there. Great to see you, VP of Options, Danielle Shea. Good to see you.
It was great to see you as well. I'm happy to be back, and I'm looking forward to seeing you every week.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess we can't be friends on Threads, me and Danielle, but yeah, I don't mind Threads. A couple hundred followers right now, trying to get to that 1,000 mark. I tweeted out the sticky note on there. I don't know. We'll see if it goes. I like it for the stock. I mean, like what she was saying there as well. Seems a little bit frothy, to say the least, some of these prices right now. You guys know we're short Nvidia. We've been short. I'm short every day, every name pretty much. It seems like right now, as I don't believe in this move either. We're going to wait for it. I mean, I believe in it. I mean, the portfolio is showing some nice gains there for the long term, but nothing wrong with getting a couple names out on the top, and you never can realize profit until you actually take some. So I like all that, and I really like Meta. I wait for that report, see if they break 300. We talked about maybe having that happen this week before, and especially if we do get good prints on CPI and PPI, creating a little bit of a move upside there. But there it is again. We already took this trade. It was a Dollar Club member there for Nvidia. While you were gone, we took a 420.50 right there. So 20%, sorry, 25, 50, 75. Have one last piece on right now. We're going to hold this for a downside move. It just got jiggy with it right back to view up again to 41.50, 421.50. We'll wait to see if there is a little bit of a pullback now on Nvidia. And then just siren alert right now, because we always talk about our winners and our losers. This is going to be fine for Google. We're up on the stock today, and we're not going to let that change. But on that note, 116.60. So we're short right now, 117.20 here on Google. And again, it's just been one trade right there, Max. We took this on that break of 117.25 or whatever that was early. We've never looked back. The only position that we screwed up was right there where we should have been, but we're not. Reloaded right there. That would have been good at 117.20. But now you're trying to break a little bit lower on Google. But let's just get out where the stars align. And for right now, it's right into here. We have VWAP, we have the 21, and we also have the 50 period. So you just kick that up a little bit, and we're out there at 116.60 right now on Google for a level that we're looking at. You noticed a little funny game being played there on Carvana. Is it still happening?
It is still happening. There's somebody on the Chicago Exchange that wants to be filled about 7,000 shares on either side, 10 or 7 cents away from the current price.
Yep.
I don't know what they're doing. They seem to just pull the order every time it
right
shoots
now?
up. It's there right now. You can see it highlighted.
Yep.
78, 78. Chicago exchange, both sides, and every time we go up, the orders move. So I don't know. They're not. It doesn't seem like they're getting filled. They may be getting filled on the bid. I'm not sure, but I don't think that they're getting filled that offer. I don't know what they're trying to do. Trying to manipulate somehow, I'm guessing, or they're just trying to scalp off of market orders. I can't really tell, but definitely something strange going on there. I'm still long, waiting. This is the only position I have at the moment. Tesla did just roll over 270 again, so maybe you should have had that one. Looks like that is the price of note. That is also VWAP right now, but that 270 looking strong right now and gives you $1 almost right away off of that one. So finally giving you kind of a more aggressive move on Tesla. That's 3 red candles in a row on that 1 minute chart. I haven't seen that for a while. Maybe we break this 268.50 and then kind of trend down for the rest of the day. I feel that I've missed that trade though. And interestingly, with what Danielle was saying, that AMD now may be one that we start trading over Nvidia. I think that's what she was saying. And this one is doing a completely kind of opposite move to what Nvidia is doing today. Sells off in the morning, recovers the entire move. Now we're going for that 114 potentially today. While Nvidia is super weak at the moment. Just, I mean, you're short, Sean. Just going down and printing the shorts very well today. So maybe Nvidia, I mean, we got more room, on AMD back to the upside on that daily chart. Oh, Carvana started to go. I better pay attention there. So this is looking actually really good on Carvana now. They dip down like 60 cents or 70 cents there and then buy it right back up. This shows me that there's buyers here. I don't think Carvana's hitting my stop of 33 anytime soon. I think we're taking out that 34. And this could be that trigger to do that late day squeeze. Yeah. Squeeze out everybody who's short today above 34, and then maybe we finally see that 35 that we were talking about. Who knows? I'll be in it. I'll be watching as long as we don't take out the 33 back to the downside. And that PWM still hasn't taken out 31 yet. So I figured this one would be either dead or at $50 by now, and it's doing neither of those things. So anybody who's placing bets is still probably sweating in their chair right now, given how fast and how far this one can go. So I think, honestly, that 31 break looks pretty good. Maybe that's where it fail breaks and then quadunks all the way back down and you get the full rug pull back in at $20. But I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot of people who are in this stock, like invested in this stock necessarily because it just IPO'd. So
you're not invested in PWM?
I'm not. They called me up.
What's wrong with you?
They called me up and said, hey, we want to be the next HKD. I was like, hey, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I mean, you leave some for the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man. Yeah. It's Festivus for the rest of us. So yeah, take it easy on that one. Okay, Google's trying to make that push down. Carvana can't drop. No, that's right. It cannot drop. It can never drop. It can only go upside there, as we just tongue in cheek there. Whenever we're saying stuff like that, Max and I have to be flat at the end of every single day. So again, thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like. Let's do this one. Hit the like and subscribe. This is kind of fun at the bottom there. But we're flat, so we're on a prop floor. So if you want to join any Day Trade the World prop floor, make sure you join it up, ASAP, daytradetheworld.com, and you can join us. And also here, you can find the Toronto office there as well. And I don't know the next class that's going to come through, but they're always doing different, classes, research points here as well. So, and we do have the Day Trade the World campus. You can find that out if you are enlisted in a campus program, campus.daytradetheworld.com if you're looking for more of a part-time gig while you are in school. All right, an interesting name here, Shopify. I initially liked, I didn't get into it. I liked the 61 break short. Now that's going to sound ridiculous because we're at 62, right? But I was thinking today, in this movement to the downside, there's 61. Now it didn't break it, but those were some nice little bottom levels. When we were underneath it here, this is a trade that I was looking at to go short. We were underneath VWAP. We barcoded a lot right here, then finally broke down. We did break higher as well, but that break higher was only about 20 cents at most. Then it broke back down below. So this is the kind of action that I really like to trade with, where you get sleeping action. You're near some key levels. Obviously, the blue is going to be VWAP for me. We talk about that all the time. I started to break below, then we were under everything. But this is the kicker. It did not break below at all. It broke below for about a minute here, maybe. Actually, this is a minute chart, so let's call it 5 or 6 minutes. Then it touched 61.10, then just went back up to the upside. So I flipped the script on this one, and we like this one to the long side now because it resisted that drop off. So any sort of a movement back down, if the market does come in, the long that I'll be looking for, now there's only 30 minutes left. We're going to get the early look from Brendo and from Financial Juice here quickly if it's up. There was issues last week, Brendo, with it. So if it's a little bit delayed, watch out for that. But breaking through 62 also going to be a good little level there as well. So it's just Shopify. I have more faith in this name now that we can break a little bit higher because we resisted this drop down. So although this market is flat, coming back a little bit, I do like Shopify. I think this could be a tomorrow trade. So we'll watch out for Shopify here today. Breaking through 62 might be great. If the market does want to rally, I could see that one breaking. But now that I see this, what does 62 look like? See, on here, it doesn't look like anything. So I'm going to sort of, I don't want to say a hard pass or anything like that, but right now, potential pass here on that Shopify 62 break, understanding, though, that it is strong. And if we can get this tomorrow, 62.50 maybe has a little bit of consolidation there right now on Shopify. What is this level? 62.30. It's not significant enough for me to risk sort of some of the moves that we've made today and the capital that we put on in this market. So I do like Shopify, but I did want to at least make sure that we talked about why I like the short. Consolidation, break below VWAP. So again, that could have been a short. Was waiting. I just told myself I'd rather wait for 61 to break. That was sort of those pre-market levels. And when we did break it the first time, we went down to 60.50. So I wasn't feeling no FOMO about this break. We didn't get it, but that was one that I was looking at. Shopify, maybe 62 and change on that as well could come through. So we'll watch out for that. Here comes 62 right now. Maybe it's worth a test or long. I don't know. Anyways, let's look back at Carvana in a couple minutes, or not Carvana. Got you on my mind here, Max, because I know that you're going to look at that in a minute. Carvana, or I said it again, Shopify may be breaking out a little bit now with that one. And of course, Danielle Shea said she liked AMD, and you can see AMD we're positive on. We're positive on all the A's today, Apple and AMD coming through. But look at this, man. We were really short AMD all day. We got out of the way, and now it's right back up to its pre-market levels again. So probably a decent short there for AMD, especially if we break below this 113. I actually would like that if that can come through. So for right now, 30 minutes to go. It's 571 to sell right now on the imbalance locator. So we're still net short, so we're liking that. We're liking that fill right here.
Yeah, I'm about to get filled on Carvana breaking through this 34. Assuming that comes, we just got to 98s, 99s there. So a little size on the offer there, expecting that to break, and then we'll see if we can get past this 34.20 and into $35. Someone in the chat was saying Neil would be long Intel. Intel's up 3% today, and I had no idea. This is the first time I'm looking
Neil
at.
only goes short Intel, so that correction, that would be wrong.
Okay. Just does this whole move up, what is that, $1.50 off the opening price today, or $1 off the open today. That's a big move for a stock like Intel, so impressive. Totally missed that one. But again, I don't really like trading stocks that are this thick and slow to move. It's tough for me to hang on to them for so long.
I'm just doing that for the shout out for whoever that was, because it is stuff like that. And you guys know, I mean, I don't know which position, I don't know which way Neil would be. I mean, who knows? But we do know that is a name that we would like to be short on, and maybe he'd be long, maybe not. Who knows? But now, you like that level for AMD 33? Have you looked at it yet?
For Intel?
Or sorry, for Intel, I mean.
I don't know. I just don't
because
trade
that could
Intel
be a short.
at all.
The market is going to fall here into the close, by the way.
Well, I guess you do have that sell side imbalance, so that's possible. Again, just not something that I would personally trade, but it is like close enough up there that you can get a really tight risk to reward on that one.
What is the volume like on
sense.
that? Yeah, so, okay. Okay, hold on a second. Oops, I have to edit this. Oh, by the way, there's a new version of the software out today. You could upload it on Neil's computer if you want. That way, if it crashes to everything, you'll blame you, and that'll be okay. 32.80 right now. Edit that. So I just now, okay, what I wanted to see there, can we get that? Can we do another screen so I could just show the volume here if possible? Thank you so much. Yeah, so see, you're getting a lot of volume now coming in at this level around 32.80, 30. So that's why I was saying that I feel like this is going to be a good short. I just wanted to show you big candle right here into volume as we start to head down now. So there it goes off of 33. So that is a good short for sure on Intel. We're already net short, man. We're $2 in the money net right now. $1.30 on Nvidia and 90 cents now in the money on Google as it's trying to break below 116, of course, off of this short right there, breaking back down through VWAP and now coming in to that trade right now. So let's just check out PWM quickly again. Okay, so again, just failing off of 30. That looks like a great short to me. But again, you sort of had the consolidation. Remember we were talking about the trades that we like? Again, basing out, break, take the long on the halt. That worked out. That sucks. But then right now, I guess you're not really barcoding too much because that was 28 bottom, 31 top. That's 10% back and forth there as it bounces. So still, PWM still nicely up. But as you can see, we are, if you look at higher highs, lower highs, all that kind of stuff, you know, there's the high right there. And that's a lower high followed by a lower high followed by right now, again, sort of another lower high. You don't really do that on minute charts, but you could see that the trend right now is to the downside and you're below. I could see a retest back down into here, to be honest with you today, $23, $24. You know, I don't think it's likely to do that, but we could see one of those flushes. If this does start to barcode a little bit more over the next 10 minutes, then I would like a 29 break long. Let's see if that can happen first and foremost. Things getting better for us. Nvidia continues to move down right now. It's just bouncing off these past levels that we already got out of. Look, that's 422. That's where we're short. We just got out at 420.60, so that's $1.06, $1.30. Hopefully it can fall down a little bit more into the close. I just said the market will fall. It wasn't necessarily because of the imbalance. It's just we're below the 50 period. I think we can get to VWAP. So that's the kind of fall that I mean, and it's only going to be 30 or 40 handles, and then we'll see what happens because we last bought up the VWAP dip down there. So yeah, I'm going to hold on to the shorts and see what's next. Anyone on the floor dabble in Hood today? Not that I saw. Anybody you talked to today?
I haven't heard that name today.
Okay, so let's just have a quick look on Robinhood. We don't, oh wow, another 4% up. So I feel like Upstart, Robinhood, Palantir, as well. Another name moving today, Roblox. There's some names here that are all these Cathie Wood kind of names that are new technology names that are really moving. And Robinhood's going to be one of those that's in her bucket. And there's the move to the upside for Robinhood. Again, well celebrated off of that May bottom. I believe at some point, I feel like it might have been in here, end of June maybe, where they announced that 24/7 or 24.5 maybe it was, trading there on Robinhood, and that's really increased its worth, it looks like, to the upside right there. So yeah, no, Robinhood, again, thanks Matt for that. That was a good little look down here, maybe $11 break. Seems like that was a good level from the pre-market, and you haven't looked back since, now up to 11.25. People say, why haven't I traded Microsoft? I did trade Microsoft today. It was in and out, then in and out. So we'll wait for a little bit of a high take there, up to 332 maybe on Softy. But things just getting kind of slow again right now.
Except on Carvana, which just made another new high of day. Breaks that 34, I added, and we're still holding above 34. It took about, what is that, a quarter of the trade off there. At 34.20, and then yeah, let's see if we can make a new high, get into that $35 price. You know, if too many eyes are on the same price, maybe it doesn't get there, and then you kind of flush off this high of day level. But I don't know. I mean, high short float, squeezing into the close, new recent highs. I think this is something that you got to hang on to, and that's what I intend to do with the remaining 75% of this trade. We will see if we can get into that 35. I'll probably add if we get to 35 as well, and then, you know, that's the spot where you stop out if that breakout fails. But doing well on this one. Got $1 on the first quarter of it. Let's see if we can get another $1 on this add, up to $35 there. Fisker as well. I didn't look at Fisker today, but I've been waiting for 7 to break on Fisker for some time now, I believe. I want to say it's 7 is that price that I was
makes
looking
sense,
at.
I think.
High short float on this. Yeah, it is. It is 7. So yeah, we're getting right up there now. I don't like taking these breakouts at the end of the day on something like Fisker, but tomorrow if we're consolidating here in the early morning and we end up breaking that $7 price either pre-market or when the market opens, I could consider taking a trade on that. 35% shorted on Fisker. I believe they had some news a couple weeks ago that kind of bumped them up a little bit on the daily chart. Yeah, I mean, we're up from $5.
Deliveries or something.
Yeah, there was something, orders, deliveries, something like that. So yeah, I could see Fisker squeezing at some point here, and I would be involved with that one as well. Yeah, I mean, nothing else really on my radar at this point.
Radar's a bit weak right now, to be honest with you, even for me, trying to find some different opportunities. You know what we can always go back to? I don't have any trades on this today. You do earlier was Meta. I mean, we could always look at, but see again, like it's not really doing a whole heck of a lot right now, Meta. I mean, you're bouncing off VWAP, and I just don't know if I want to go. Wow, man, that looks good though. Look. Oh man, the last hour, this has been a pretty big wall there at 292.50. So this could be something there that we look at for Meta. That could be a short. Thing is like I'm looking at this as a short, but I'm already short Google and Nvidia, both in the money, roughly $1. But we only have 10% left of Google and 25 in Nvidia, and we're looking to put on a new trade. This could be the one, but I actually kind of like the long on this. I mean, you're starting to make, we talked about lower highs on the other name. That's exactly what's happening the other way here as you continue to start making, higher lows the other way around. So there's, starting to stick up here on a 3-minute chart. It looks like it does actually want to take out 293 and maybe get back to the high side. So yeah, we'll step up on that maybe when we need to. But for right now, that does look like a trade kind of stuck somewhere. So probably going to stay away from that. Let's go over to Rivian again. You're just talking about Fisker. This was a missed opportunity because we got stopped out right there, and that will always happen to you when you trade as many times as we do over here today. I have just over 200 fills, so a lot of fills coming through, and some are going to be mistakes, and not many today, but that was a good one there, making that mistake on Rivian, as it's just trying to bounce around again. Like, I'm trying to find trades that could move, but like Rivian in the last 20 minutes has a 10-cent range, so we'll be off of that. JP Morgan trying to make a move off 144. We can have a quick look there as well. I'm happy. Today's been a great day, man. There's been nothing wrong with that. Oh, AI could be a name that was moving. It just took out 40.50. Yeah. So there's the break there on AI. So this actually took out the day's high. There's 40.50 break, 40.75 break, and it just went to 41.20. But now this name is trying to pull back in as well. So C3 AI, another one trying to go higher up now, up 5%, a good one. Oh, we could check out Upstart. Some kind of Rolling Stone thing. I don't know if they're a band or not. Max knows more about them than I do, as we're just joking around on that. There it is right there, 41. Sorry, that's still, Upstart and AI are like the same price, so that was confusing to me. Just had to reload that chart. But again, look what happens. So huge move up, consolidation break. So that's kind of been the play. We'll look for more of those tomorrow when this first starts to happen, and we can get a little bit more maybe aggressive with some of these trades. But right there, that's a pretty good one there on Upstart. Consolidation, break higher. Now we'll see if we can get back in. But Upstart, what a great day. And there's the big FU candle to anybody that was short today from 36 breaking through 40. And that's going to stand out on the daily because there it is right there, breaking out. Now we'll see if it can hold that $40 level. Upstart right now with only 7 minutes until these imbalances.
Yeah, that Upstart move, 40 to 41, you only have to risk like 10 cents on that one. Those are the kind of trades that you want to have in the afternoon, something with high short float that's like going to do that high of day break and trend for you. That one was great. AI, I didn't even notice was going. That 42 level on AI, I really like. So we'll be watching that one tomorrow. That's where it went to on Friday, I believe, and then just kind of topped out, couldn't go any further. It's also this kind of consolidation low, so we take that out tomorrow morning. Maybe we get the move into 45, 46. That was the move that I was looking for on Friday when I was long in the morning. That didn't come. 50 break eventually on AI has got to be. I mean, I don't know which way it goes, but I think it goes crazy either way. So yeah, AI gonna stay long if these names are gonna be squeezing. I think I got to try to stay long every day on them. So AI tomorrow, going to be interesting. If Carvana doesn't break 35 today, then 35 break tomorrow morning is going to be something that I'll have on watch. I feel like we get there. We already got to 34, 35. So, what's 70 more cents on a name like this? Already up 16% on the day. And yeah, that 270 level on Tesla keeps working. Probably should be short right now on Tesla, looking for that end of day kind of sell off in the next 15 minutes. I didn't actually realize that it's 3:45 already, so maybe you should be trimming a little bit more of this Carvana position given the time of day. I'll try to take a little more off at 34.10 here, 34.11. Come on, Filmy, there we go. And then the remainder will be held for the potential break or the breakdown of like 33.90, 33.80 kind of level. Don't want to be, holding it for a loss on the remaining shares that I have. Rivian should be interesting tomorrow because we are going to close green on it, which is good. We're going to close above, or if we stay here. If we close here, we close pretty much at Friday's high and up from the close of 24.70. So the Rivian squeeze could still be on. Today is like a red candle, but we open higher than Friday's close. So looking good for Rivian continuation tomorrow. Going to have this 25.5 level on watch again. Seems to be kind of a magnet price for this name as Carvana going for the high again.
Wow, it's amazing that these sort of high flying stocks continue to go for the highs. Meanwhile, we've got a $2 winner right now on Nvidia as the market is falling. Which way did I say the market was probably going to go into the close right now? Let's just see. Let's see if we can be right finally. No, it's been a good day, man. We are at the highest spot we've been at all day. This is going to be my best day this month. Yeah, as we just sit here right now and relax a little bit as this, here it is, man. There it is right now. There's the drop down for NVDA. So it's a good little move down in there now. I feel like we could just hold on to this. It's now a $2 club. As Google also entering the dollar club right now, about 15 cents away from exactly becoming a new member of that. And it's trying to break the bottom. And if it does, then we say see you later to that one. Let's just check out our Shopify trade. We don't have it on yet. I just wanted to see this is what I'm saying. Look what's happening right now to Shopify. Nothing. So that's very, very important to understand. Like, we talked about why Shopify was strong today off that 61, and now it's not even, it's like market, nah. Nvidia, $2 in the money short, nah. We're maybe what, 8 cents or 10 cents if you took that 62 print, if you somehow got that. So yeah, shout out to everybody today that's been on Shopify. That's been a good long for sure. Look, do we just get this out at 420? On Nvidia. I mean, I'm trying to play for a bigger move down here into the close. So that's what we're waiting for. We're still have a quarter of it. We'll see if it can hold out on that, but who knows? Hopefully it does, and maybe it does not. But
how do you feel about holding those large cap names into the imbalances at 350?
I feel bad about that.
Yeah, I really hate doing that. But you can set a stop and then you're fine, but
yeah, no,
you
that's
get
a
cut off side.
That's a good look. I always say, so this one, because I mean, maybe if Brendan has an update, he can hook us up with it. But because it was a decent sell, and I try to ignore them, Max, for a little bit. If we're really close to a level, like if I'm close to getting punched out, like if the NASDAQ is up here and I'm just starting to like build my shorts, so maybe here like on Nvidia, if it's like hovering around here, and I'm like, I'm going to get stopped out, yeah, then maybe I'll just take it out. Yeah. But now that we're all the way down, I wouldn't mind, like, an imbalance could come out and it could spike up, but then I feel like it would continue its downside push a little bit. So I'm not too worried about this one, but you are 100% right. It is a little nerve-wracking holding something into those imbalances. I'll have it up, and this is what we're talking about. So I always get rid of ARCA because we don't need that. We're not trading anything on the NYSE Amex right now. And then if you see, if you look over here, I always sort it by size. because you want to look at the biggest ones. There it is right there. And you can see right now, these are all from open. We hadn't had anything halt or anything like that today, or we did, but nothing left over on halt. So we'll just wait to see how this builds out. So in a minute and a half, these are all going to update, and this tag is going to say 350 on it. And when that happens, then we know that those are the live prints coming, not prints, but those are the live actionable trades to hit at 4 o'clock. So we'll wait to see if we can get anything in on that one as Google and Nvidia are heading to the downside. We will have an actionable trade at 350, and it will probably be to get out of those names. AMD not falling as much as Nvidia. So you can see Nvidia's like down here. Isn't Nvidia near VWAP, or am I wrong on that one? Yeah, we're way below VWAP. So yeah, so Nvidia and AMD kind of tale of two different names today. AMD only about flat, and Nvidia down that 1 1/4. So I think we're short the right name. We picked that one for sure. We got one stop out, but again, that stop out was about 30 cents. Now we're about a 230 or so in the money on this one. So here we go, man. Only now time left to see where we go. 45 seconds max. You want to talk about your Carvana real quick? Are you still in it? Yeah, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I still got 75% of the ad left, so I'm long at this 34 price. Just hanging on to it. I don't think that imbalances are going to affect Carvana at all. And I mean, if they do, whatever, I'm 50 cents in the money and I lose that,
same thing,
have the stop in. So yeah, I mean, we'll see where this goes. If we squeeze for the next 10 minutes, then this could be another $1 on top of that I win. If not, you know, whatever, probably end up closing somewhere around 34.20. Yeah, I mean, that's all I got at the moment. Nothing else really doing much. That PWM really never broke 31.
3, 2, Max, watch your positions because now we're on fire. Let's see what is happening right now to Nvidia. So it is a downside push. As we continue to go downside right now. Let's see what this imbalance looks like. Brenda will get it to us. Intel, 2 million to sell. So that's probably sending it downside a little bit there. ATVI, I'm not seeing too much else. Rivian with a small little buy could be helping this name out the rest of the day. Meta with a sell. Going up right now. Google with the sell. All right, so we got to watch out for our Nvidia trade. It is starting to fade out just a little bit right now. Back to the upside, I should say, not fade out. It did hit 419 and bounced. So, hey, man, we could take $3 if it comes back down to 419. Why don't we do that? Let's put a 419 bid. I actually had a 417.50 bid in case that was a big flush, but that never came into play. So right there, let's take it out at this level if we can. Right there, 419. Hopefully coming through here on Nvidia. So I don't know if it was a downside push or not. There it is. Wow. 1.7 Bs with $1 billion to sell. Okay, now that I see this, if this takes out 420.25, let's get out. It's coming up right now. We got to get out of this Nvidia.
Yeah, nice sell imbalance there on that Nvidia. I'm looking at all the other ones. I'm not seeing anything really substantial there. You know, Nvidia's kind of the big sell there, and Meta as well with the 145 million sell, but still going up for whatever reason. This Carvana position is doing nothing. I'm going to take another 25% off, so now just holding half of the ad into the close. We'll see what happens on that. Maybe we get a little move up. Hopefully, honestly, for tomorrow's trading, we consolidate below that 35 and then take out 35 off the open tomorrow. Get the same style of trade that we got off of 30 today. Yeah, I mean, nothing else on the imbalances at all that I can see. Microsoft is like a small buy. All of them pretty tiny here. So, yeah, I mean, what happened to Fisker? Did that end up getting there? FSR. Oh, it did get to 7. I'm assuming that this is a real wick. I'll check on my other platform if that actually hit 701 there. It looks like it did. So it does a fail break of $7. I mean, it only went 1 cent, so potentially the breakout's still good tomorrow morning if we do end up getting that. We'll see what happens on that one tomorrow. I might as well throw that up on a chart right now just so I don't forget about it tomorrow morning. Yeah, and let's see if we can take out this high one more time on Carvana. Lots of buying coming in. Liquidity's kind of getting worse, actually, into the close here on this name, so anybody who's punching is moving the stock quite a bit. There's some size on the bid. It's the same, that same Chicago order keeps getting bigger, so now it's 218 lots. It was only 75 before, then went up to 150. I don't know what's going on with that. Might just get out of this one, actually. There's only 7 minutes left. Call that one a win. Carvana paying me today. Pretty happy with what we did on Carvana. Yeah, looks like Rivian as well, wanting to close in that same spot. And Meta is pumping on that sell imbalance that remains. Meta going almost $1 on that sell imbalance that came through. Yeah, that's strange that it would pump up like that on a big sell. I guess market going up now, so Meta being pulled up by that, along with Nvidia as well. That's interesting where these larger caps are going at the moment into the close. What else is going on here?
I got out of. I'm looking at the same kind of stuff you're looking at there. We got out of Nvidia on that 420 push, so that was 420.25 or so. Good out there for us. Happy again with that performance to close out that Nvidia trade. Oh yeah, Mike's falling down there. We got there. Thank you, Fabian. We got on that trade. 422 out for, so about $1.70. So that was a good one. We'll bet that one out there for a decent trade for us on that. So pretty happy with that performance. And then Google's just hovering around. Is there any other names? Let's check out Palantir here into the close. I mean, I am wearing this hat right now. So wow, okay, so there it is, man. Palantir near the high of the day, ready to close at the high of the day. So we will put this on our radar for tomorrow. We have to, right? AT&T a big sell. Palantir tomorrow probably takes out 17. Wouldn't be surprised if we're up somewhere near there tomorrow morning, up at this 17 level or so. And then we'll look to see if it can break that. That's another one there. One name that we didn't talk about at all today that we talked a lot about on Friday was Mullen. Why? Because it doesn't seem like there's too much movement on there. Only a paltry 570 million shares today. But what did Mullen do exactly? All right, so started the day off at about 17 or 18 cents there. Got back above 20. That was a nice little run. You could see tons of volume off the open, but then about 10:30, the volume went, see ya, and not much else happening with that stroke. So now it's kind of just, we did get a good volume spike when it broke 20 back down to the downside. So let's pay attention to Mullen tomorrow if that is the case and it does break a little bit back down there for Mullen. So we can have a quick look at that as well. That's going to be Mullen.
People in the chat talking about Coinbase.
You want to go look at that?
It just accelerated off that $80 price.
Yeah, Bitcoin's
about
ripping
half an hour
now.
ago.
Yeah,
so Coinbase 82. We were talking about this
82?
in the morning. Almost 82, 81 and a half.
Yeah, let me just, I was just actually, oh no, I closed my Bitcoin chart. No, I didn't, it's right here. Okay, I got to just refresh this one. Look at this, there goes Bitcoin right now. Pump it up. Yeah, what the heck is going on with BTC right now? I don't know if there is any news on anything, Brendo, probably not. We have some ETFs there about Bitcoin, but it is a straight fire move right now on BTC. So again, congratulations. Anybody that's here on Bitcoin, you're definitely printing a little bit here into the close. Bitcoin making some moves, and so is Coinbase. You have the Coinbase chart up? Yeah, go to Max's screen, man, he's got that up.
Yeah, that $80 level, we were talking about this like half an hour ago, I think, that Coinbase was at 80, and maybe this is a nice short back into 79.
People were like, short it for Neil.
Yeah,
man,
Neil loves the Coinbase
I ain't trying to get railroaded, though.
Every time I try to short this name, I get, every time I trade Coinbase, actually, short or long, it does not work for me. So maybe I need to modify the way I trade this one, but 82 break potential tomorrow morning. I will have that one on watch as well. I guess it was like kind of 81, kind of where we are right now. That's the breakout level, but you know, round up to the next even dollar level, 82. See if we get that breakout tomorrow and get into some of these higher prices, 85, 87, and you know, we take out that 87 next stop 100, I guess. And Meta as well is absolutely flying into the
yeah,
close
someone
right
just
now.
put that. I was like, I'm gonna have to check that out for sure on Meta. Okay, so here comes Google. I just put a bid at 116.21. I'm thinking people would know why. You see the price that we are short right now, so let's see if it can exactly. My bid is at 116.21, not only for 21 Savage, but also to see if it can officially join the Dollar Club at the end of the day. We only have a small piece on, so we're just playing around with it right now, but there it is right there. This is another trade that we've held pretty much all day here into the close, so let's see if we can't make that one happen right there into the close with only 2 minutes left. This is really silly. I'm just doing this for fun. 1. We could get out at anywhere around here. I don't expect a dramatic move here into the close one way or another. So let's just see if we can get that with only a couple minutes left. Out of Nvidia, that looks like that was well played to get out at least to the upside. Google, we already talked about that one. Let's check out Rivian into the close. Nice bounce off Rivian for sure. $25. Let's put that in our cap and remember that for tomorrow. PWM, it's been screaming upside the last couple days at the close, but right now it seems like it just wants to party on down here around 24, 25. So we'll wait for that break. I see, like, if there's more time today, this is a great break. So here's some consolidation, only $1 right there would be great. If we could, I mean, that would be about $1.80, but 27 or so break seems like it would be good right there if that did happen. And it looks like, hey man, we're 7 cents away. We may not get that stupid Dollar Club member there. I think we have 4 or 5 members today. Apple, AMD, Amazon never got there. Google's trying. Microsoft, I don't think got there. Nvidia easily got there. So we'll see what else can happen and see if Google can make that club a reality. It might have to be an aftermarket member on that. So right now, all's good, man. Thank you again for watching. We don't have that many likes today, so it's only a little bit of time left. Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe. I don't know, Kat, can you get the bell there soon? I don't know if she's busy or not. We'll see if Kat can get on the bell. We only now do have 30 seconds. If not, oh, there she goes. Good. Okay. So she's ready to rock and roll. Please hit the like and the subscribe. Now only 20 seconds. Are you in anything yet or left over, Max?
Nope.
Okay, good.
I am
like
totally
that.
flat going into the close.
All right, there. It's a little early. It's a little early on this, but here we go. With only 10 seconds left, now we get going. I like that jean jacket. Jean jacket's all the look right now. 5 seconds left as we get ready to go. 4, 3, 2, and we are done. So thank you, Miss Kat, for that. Kat is back. Hit the like button, guys. 1K likes for Kat at least. If you can do that, that would be fantastic. All right, the NASDAQ. Wow. We should have, oh man, we forgot about it. Bears versus Bulls. Too distracted here today. It would be awesome if we had put up positive or negative because we just kind of floated around there.
Oh, yeah.
So that's enough of a tease. Let's go over to Brendan and see where we wound up on both the NASDAQ and the ES.
Yeah, it looks like we did get positive, guys, for the index itself. For the NASDAQ, I'm speaking of 0.07 when all is said and done to the upside for the NASDAQ. The S&P about 0.25%. A ton of volume. You can see both. This is the SPY, but same thing. You can see both on Friday and at the close here today. A ton of volume on the buy side coming in as well. So a nice push into the close, 0.25% for the S&P. NASDAQ basically flat, 0.07, guys.
There it is, yeah. So the NASDAQ 0.07. Yeah, I'm just playing around Bears versus Bulls. Don't worry about that. We'll get more tomorrow. We'll think of something tomorrow afternoon. We'll think of something good there. I kind of like the stocks more than the market.
Yeah.
Because then you're cheering on a stock. Like we could have said, does Carvana, you're out. I'm still in this, by the way. Will there be certain level breaks, PWM or Carvana for tomorrow? But all right, it's 4:01. Like every show ends with a new show.
Yes.
Until Prad closes it. So right now it is 4:02. We do have the after show coming with Prad. I see that he's in his peach shirt now, so that's what it's all about. Wearing the button shirt for the show. But now it's casual time, man. The market's closed. Time to talk. And it's about to get real spicy for Prad because coming up soon is all these earnings, Brendo. You talked about that with Miss Shea. They're going to start to kick it off, which is going to make the after show even that much more interesting. Not that it's not interesting now. We got Prad on there. And then Randy was on last week. I think that went really well as well. Maybe Brendo will join one day. Max, you'll probably join. Yeah. I know I was already been on, and I know Neil's trying to get on as well. But thank you to everybody today for joining the stream. Great to have you back, Brendan, of course. How did it feel your first day back? A little rusty?
Amazing. Happy to be back. Vacation's always fun, but we love being here. Let's be honest.
Yep. I think me, Brendan, Neil, you love being here, Max?
Of course.
I like that as well. That's the one thing, honestly, I do feel kind of spoiled about this. I really love what I do. And I think there's a lot of people that don't, and I feel blessed to be able to do that every single day. And hopefully a lot of you, we've been able to make trading a little more enjoyable for everybody, and entertaining and informative, and hopefully putting a little bit of money in your pocket. So thank you to Bears vs. Bulls today. Fabian, great work on that one. Ramin, I don't know where she went, but thank you so much to her. She's here, okay. Oh, she's over behind there, I didn't see. Thanks, Brenda, welcome back, as we just said. And everybody, we'd have no show without you. So thanks to Max, Obi, a big show today. I've already congratulated him on that. But without any further ado, from everybody here at Trader TV Live, we wish you a great after show with Prad, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 8:30. Ciao.
Hello, everybody. Here we are. We're about to get started. The after show, the after party, whatever you may call it. Markets have been great today, let's be honest, right? They both ended up green. No red start for